Is Jerome Tang leaving Kansas State? That was a question 48 hours ago, 72 hours ago that was on everybody's mind. And a lot of Kansas State fans were, in essence, saying goodbye. And now, after one of the more strangely edited videos I've ever seen has been posted on his personal social media, and assistant coaches have come out and an extension has been offered, it is all but written that Jerome Tang will stay at Kansas State. Here's what's shocking. What has Kansas State done to make Jerome Tang want to stay? Remember our cat, Gene Taylor? Remember how the president and athletic director of this university with the Naquan Tomlin situation overstepped Tang and said, hey, we're going to take this guy and not let him play basketball for the university anymore? And Tang, who took his squad of truly, it was misfits. It was misfits in his first season because he had to just piece things together from guys who weren't already at Kansas State. He took misfits and made them superstars in March to the Elite Eight. And then it's like the administration's like, I don't know, we trust this guy to be making calls for his own team and his own program. That was a massive. And the thoughts were that behind the scenes, Jerome was very unhappy with the way that situation was handled. Wouldn't you be? You're the successful head coach. You've got an athletic director and a university president who just overstep, and decide in a university that has kind of a history of administrators not being very cool. And then you, as the head coach, I'm making you Jerome Tang, learn that it's out of your hands. Your best player, who you have adequately punished in your eyes based on the information given, your program, you are the coach. You have nothing. You can't. To me, then, Gene Taylor. This is a quote from Kellis Robinette. Arkansas made a strong run at Jerome Tang. But by the way, Arkansas's resources are great. Is Arkansas a better basketball school than Kansas State overall? They got that championship in 94. They have some strong runs under Eric Musselman all time. They're a better program than Kansas State, maybe, but this is today in today's realm. It's like a apples to apples to as of based on Arkansas's bad NIL as of Monday, April 8th, their jobs in the same little realm. Arkansas made a strong run at Jerome Tang, but Gene Taylor and others convinced him to stay put. Expect Tang to get a raise, an extension, more money for his assistant coaches, and even more NIL support for players. That is, I just don't, like Marcus Aurelius, is he one that stabbed? Brutus stabbed Caesar, right? This is his buddy. This feels like, in essence, Caesar somehow just didn't die. And right after Brutus stabbed him, he was like, hey, Brutus was like, hey, man, I cooked some dinner. Do you want to come over? And Caesar just did. Like Gene Taylor is the one that talked Jerome Tang into staying. To me, more than maybe anything else, any other part of this. And John Rothstein also says Kansas State has offered Jerome Tang an extension following the interest from Arkansas. What we have learned in this process is something that I knew at Baylor. Jerome was a guy who I was close to more so than any other assistant on the team. I have said this on multiple shows, and I will, anytime somebody slanders Jerome Tang, and we even had conversations this year about how he handled some things that I didn't agree with on the court against Iowa State. Anytime we talk Jerome Tang, I'll tell you how stand-up of a guy he was. He would go out of his way to talk to me. I was a college student who was just working on a small podcast that got 200 listeners a day and usually was just crapping all over guys like Flo Thamba. But he would go out of his way to come talk to me, spend time with me. He was the first guy I hugged after Baylor won the Big 12 championship in 2022. Just a good dude. And this affirms that. He loves Kansas State for the opportunity they gave him. He loved Baylor and Scott Drew for that opportunity, and he honored that with nearly 20 years of service. He goes to Kansas State, and he's going to do the same thing. Even the administration, like that's the kind of guy you have. When in the middle of the season this year, we're talking about the administration turning their back on Jerome Tang, who's an awesome dude. We're talking about the same Jerome Tang that took the microphone over his stadium, over an arena, and asked the students to stop chanting the F word. One of the, like, is it the right thing? Did he do the right thing? Yes. Was it cringy optics? Also, yes. It was just weird. But that's how good of a dude he is. That's how morally right the guy is. They just took the control of the program out of his hands. He says, you know what? I'm so committed to this fan base. I'm so committed to these players. I'm so committed to Kansas State as a whole and what that means. I'm going to stay put. I think that rocks. I just hope Kansas State fans understand what you have in Jerome Tang. And maybe there's some I don't know. For Gene Taylor, for Linton, maybe there is forgiveness, love even. Ugh, just probably not from me. Come back tomorrow. We're going to talk more Big 12. Shocking, I know. Unlocked on. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.